What's good, everybody? RJ Shelton here, back with another episode of the Midwest Recap. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. From our Wisconsin people, Green Bay, horrible loss. Lost to the Bears 24-22. Unacceptable. Milwaukee Bucks, they go ahead and face the Spurs this Wednesday, and then Friday they face the Magic, looking to bounce back this week. Moving on over to Wisconsin Badger men's basketball. They went ahead and put up 116 points against Iowa this past Friday. I think 116 points hasn't been done in a very long time for Wisconsin Badger basketball. Always good when you go ahead and play well at home and put up a ton of points. So that is a big sign moving into the Big Ten season, going and beating a team single-handedly and throwing up 116 points. Moving on over to the Minnesota area, the Vikings went ahead and faced the Lions. They lost that one 9-31. The Minnesota Timberwolves this week, they go ahead and face the Pelicans, and then they face the Magic this Thursday. Definitely going to be a bounce back week again. As I said earlier, for the Bucks, got to go ahead and start getting wins, together to go ahead and have momentum going into this, second half of the season, because all of it matters as of right now. And then moving on over to the Gopher football, they went ahead and faced Virginia Tech. They won that 24-10 in the Duke Mayo Bowl. PJ Fleck is now, I believe, 8-0 or could be 9-0. But either way, he's been having a very good year. So always good to see when you go ahead and you hire someone to go ahead and now build a dynasty to where you're starting to win bowl games consistently. So shout out to him. And then their basketball team as well, they go ahead and face Wisconsin on Friday. So that should be another big one. Hopefully going bounce back and get a win. Chicago people, Bears, big win, 24-22 against the Packers. You haven't went ahead and beat the Packers in some time. You snapped the record of LaFleur of being 11-0. Now he's 11-1. Caleb Williams is now 1-1 against Jordan Love. Even though you went 1-5, realistically, if you look at it, you possibly could be 2-4. Obviously the Packers went ahead and got you at home with that blocked field goal. But all in all, this is a good win. 5-12, not how you want to go ahead and look for the season, but when you go ahead and beat a very good opponent in the Green Bay Packers, you're going to have a little momentum going into the 2025 season. So that is a wrap for, obviously, the Bears. Their season is over with. They are not going to the playoffs. Chicago Bulls, they go ahead and face the Pacers Wednesday and the the Wizards on Friday. Right now, I know they're standing in the Eastern Conference. They're 10th right now. Continue doing what you're doing, but Bulls are looking good. The teams that I've mentioned earlier, the Bulls, Bucks, and also, even the Timberwolves are in the Western Conference, but go ahead and continue to get, games underneath your belt where you're winning to go ahead and put you in a good position in the playoffs. And then the Fighting Illini football team went ahead and beat the South Carolina Gamecocks 21-17, finished 20th, record 10-3. Who would have thought that Illinois football would be back? Brett Bielema has those guys playing well. He's got a great coaching staff that is getting these guys prepped to go ahead and be prepared for the games and prepared to win the games. They're getting talent. This is only going to help their cause of getting guys to come to Illinois to go ahead and play for the Fighting Illini. Big win. It was the Cheez-Its Bowl that they had won. You went ahead and saw Brett Bielema get dumped with a whole bunch of Cheez-Its. These I would say bowls are getting kind of funny in regards to the names. Like I just mentioned earlier, the Duke Mayo Bowl. PJ Fleck got dumped in mayo, which is disgusting. And then you got this Cheez-It, and then there's a Pop-Tart as well. It's kind of funny to see what these bowls are coming to. And then moving on to their men's basketball, they go ahead and face Penn State Wednesday, and then Saturday they face USC. So definitely be tuned into that. Big Ten basketball is very fun to watch. So definitely tune into that. It has always been, to me, one of a top, I would say, conferences when it comes to men's college basketball. So tune into that through obviously all of, Wisconsin teams when it comes to Wisconsin basketball, Minnesota Gopher basketball, obviously Michigan State, which I'm about to get to in a minute here. And last but not least, obviously Fighting Illini. Detroit Lions went ahead and beat, obviously, the Vikings 31-9. They clinched the NFC North. They go ahead and get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. 15-2, what you expected. They built a dynasty to where they can go ahead and sustain winning seasons. They were down in the dumps for years. Now they have the right pieces in place, from coaching to players, to go ahead and now make something happen. You're the 1 seed. Hasn't been done in a very long time. So shout out to the Detroit Lions for getting that number 1 spot in the NFC North, clinching that championship, and then getting the bye. Moving on over to the Detroit Pistons, they go ahead and face the Nets Wednesday and then the Warriors Thursday. A lot of things are going well in Detroit right now. You see the football team doing well from the NFL. Now you're seeing the NBA doing very well. The city of Detroit is rocking right now, and it's always good to see Midwest teams do their thing. Michigan State basketball, they go ahead and face Washington on Thursday, and then Sunday they face Northwestern. They went ahead and faced Ohio State, won that one 69-62. Watched that game. Very good to see our team go ahead and handle adversity. Wasn't really looking good in the first half. Second half was a nail biter, and then we went ahead and finished kind of with like 2 minutes to go. This is a good ball club, and when I see that we're competing, even though we're not really hitting shots or anything like that, we're in a good spot. As I mentioned earlier, we have Washington Thursday at 7 p.m. and then Northwestern on Sunday at 11 a.m. And then last but not least here, we're going to call this segment just plain and simple. Let's go ahead and talk about the NFC North. Season's done. As I go off and list, obviously, the winners and the losers. Lions are 15-2, basically winning that. Vikings are 14-3, finishing second. Packers are 11-6 in third, and then the Bears are 5-12. As my predictions earlier, I had a lot of high hopes on the Packers, as I should. Finishing third definitely is not what I would have expected for the Packers. The season, the way it was. I mean, what you saw, from this past weekend, it was just unreal to see, in regards of just not having awareness from players, from coaches, 3rd and 11 playing prevents when you could have went ahead and just played normal base to go ahead and put pressure, but also not give up a wide open first down. I mean, anyone could have went ahead and get in the pocket for the Bears and threw, that first down pass or something over the middle. It was just very weird how nothing was just, not say drawn up. I know it was on the fly, but I mean, if you have 3 guys on the right side and all 3 of your guys from a defense perspective goes over there, it's just like maybe a coach needs to call a timeout. Defensive coordinator in his ear, or has the headset on and goes ahead and goes on like, hey, call timeout, and just reevaluate what they're trying to do. Because anyone that does know football, why would you be in prevent on 3rd and 11? That makes no sense to me. I would have never put my defense in that situation. I know Valentine came out and said that, I was just doing my job, which he did do his job. He had outside leverage, and he went ahead, and someone in the middle of the field should have been there. But we had our safeties basically 30 yards off, like the Bears were on their own 20-yard line when they were basically midfield. So that wasn't good. And then the big thing is just we are continuing to see Matt LaFleur shit the bed. I don't really know what other way to put it. I just don't get what we're trying to do with Jordan Love to get him going. Granted, he didn't really play as well. You've seen what we've done all up to this year. We've been handing the ball off to Josh Jacobs. And, granted, this game really didn't mean anything, but in the beginning we were doing that. And then obviously all the injuries, Christian Watson getting hurt, which was horrendous. I'm assuming that he's going to be out for the remainder of the year, which is tough because he was definitely playing very well. But just other guys got to step up. Malik Heath really was basically the only positive that I went ahead and saw out of this game. He had a really big catch. I think it was about maybe 30 to 40 yards. I think he needs to get more in the mix. It was good seeing Jalen Reed go ahead and touch the ball and catch the football, even though he did have a fumble. We can't turn the football over. He knows that. But again, you got to go ahead and do what you need to do to put yourself and your team in a position to win. So we can't be having things like that. But at the end of the day, I do what I do in regards to talking about everything. But heart goes to Packers. It was a disappointing regular season, but now, you go ahead and have an opportunity to go to Philly to go ahead and now change the perspective of what this team is. Jordan Love is going to have to go ahead and be the main focal point throughout this whole playoff run. And it starts against Jalen Hurts. I've always seen for many years when Aaron Rodgers was in these situations and being the one to go ahead and take the bull by the horns and make his own calls or make his own reads and not listen to what Matt LaFleur is calling in, because it's a very different perspective from, I feel, of when a quarterback is looking and seeing the momentum of the game and seeing the flow and seeing what is going on. Jordan Love has got to get to that point. I don't know if this season is to where Matt LaFleur and his meetings, when it comes with him and Jordan Love, he's like, all right, hey, listen, we're going to tame back what you're doing, or he doesn't trust him. If he doesn't trust Jordan Love right now or hasn't trust him, then we have a serious problem, because Josh Jacobs is not going to win us a Super Bowl. Yes, he's going to be an addition, but the running back position, out of all the years that I've watched football, does not win you championships. We all know what wins you championships, and that's the quarterback position. So I want Jordan Love this week to go ahead and take the bull by the horns, go ahead and show that you are definitely one of the top 10, if not top 5 quarterbacks in this league. Everyone's 0-0. Regular season's done with. Come out with a purpose. Show what you can do, not only to yourself, because you know what you can do. We know what you can do. We saw what you did in Dallas last year. We need to go ahead and repeat that, but on a different level. Because if this man plays MVP-like, we're going to definitely have a run going in this playoffs to New Orleans. So I'm definitely geeked to go ahead and see what number 10 has to do. Out of all these years, especially being Packers fans, you know that the quarterback position takes us to where we need to go in a good defense, in a good running game, which we have. Granted the hiccups, we do have the pieces. Is that now everyone has to go ahead and actually do it from top to bottom. And if we do that, we're the best team in football. Moving on from that, old talk about my Packers. Vikings, solid year, 8-1 at home, 6-2 away on the road. Yeah, okay, their season was, they didn't play anybody, cupcakes, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they swept the Bears, they swept the Packers, and they went 1-1. No, they went 0-2 against the Lions. Lions, no need to talk about them. Swept everybody. Bears, Caleb Williams, whole situation. I've been saying earlier that Caleb Williams has been playing very well. He is a talent. You guys are in a very good situation. The only thing that makes this not go in a right direction is if you don't hire the correct people that need to come in the building to go ahead and have you win ball games. So NFC North was fun. I think this is definitely going to be, if there's a rating, that this was the best division in the NFL, and it's going to be the best division for a very long time. And last but not least here, still staying with the NFL, we do have the schedules out for the NFL playoffs. This is a big time, not only for fans, but for people that want to watch real nail-biting, action-packed football. Saturday at Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Chargers versus the Texans. That's on CBS, or if you have Paramount Plus. Steelers and the Ravens are the primetime game. They are at 8 p.m. They'll be on Prime Video. And then Sunday, Broncos face the Bills at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then the Packers face the Eagles at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And then the night game there, the Commanders versus the Buccaneers face at 8 p.m. on NBC. And then the Monday night, the Vikings face the Rams at 8 p.m. That one's going to be on ESPN, ABC, all that good stuff. Picks, because I'll definitely go ahead and give my little spiel about it. I really think that Chargers and Texans, I don't see the Chargers making any mistakes, but I see the Texans going ahead and playing very well at home. I'm going to take the Texans. Steelers at the Ravens. That's easy. I'm taking the Ravens. Broncos versus the Bills. I'm taking the Broncos. And the reason why I say that is because Sean Payton's going to have his team dialed in. I don't know what I'm getting from Josh Allen, and I don't know if Josh Allen is going to be the Josh Allen that he was in the regular season. So I got the Broncos on that. Packers versus Eagles. That's a no-brainer. I got the Packers. Commanders versus the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield at home. Mike Evans just being the most consistent wide receiver that we have seen in a very long time. I think he tied Jerry Rice or broke Jerry Rice's record. Either way, to be mentioned in that type of caliber of wide receivers that did great things back then, and you're doing it now. Props to you, my good brother. And then Vikings versus Rams. I'm going to go ahead and take the Vikings. I think that this loss that they went ahead and, endured this past week, I think that they're going to be ready to play, and they know that, all right, this is for real. Sam Darnold did definitely kind of got rushed, but it's always good to have one of those games before you go into the real thing. I think the Vikings are going to take care of business. So that is the first round, the wild card weekend. So there's a lot of sports that we just went over. Definitely go ahead and tune into that. And with that, you're going to go ahead and see some more of Off the Top Show. You guys have a wonderful week, and we will see you soon. Peace out.